This video is not about potatoes, but it is about living in a world in which we are entering a more cashless society where it's no bills, no coins, just digital credits, things that can be tracked, controlled, and recoverable. And honestly, if you think this is a convenience thing, well, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought that at first too. I was like, oh boy, how many times do you just swipe your debit or credit card and off you go, right? But when it comes right down to it, a completely digital society sounds actually terrifying. And let's see why. Hey everyone, Morgan here as we talk about our society going towards more digital everything, especially digital currency. I'm going to be chopping up some potatoes that we got so that I can blanch them and then put them in the freeze dryer for later. So let's get at it. I want to introduce you to my manual shredder. I've used this for cheese and carrots, and now I'm doing potatoes. But I love this thing. It's completely manual, so let's show it. If you want this, I actually have a link down below to where you can go check this out for yourself. But I love this thing. It's better than any electric food processor or anything. Governments and banks are quietly, is this going to shred? Oh, it doesn't. I need to take this off. Governments and banks want to quietly, or maybe not so quietly, phase out cash. In fact, there are many companies right now and just places that straight up will not take cash. And we saw this a lot during COVID because cash is really dirty. But at the same time, cash is currency. It is something that I can use no matter where. But people are giving you such grief for using that currency. If we go to a completely cashless society, there would be a couple things that might happen. They might freeze your accounts. They might restrict what you can buy, track every transaction, and they control access with digital IDs like I've talked about before, or even social scores. This isn't fear-mongering. In fact, if you feel afraid by this, I want you to take your fear and put it into action. I have a checklist down below that is completely free that talks about everything I have here, and it's just a checklist for you to be like, okay, this is how I can prepare for something like that. Banks and credit cards are already trying to restrict what people can and cannot purchase. They'll say, oh, you want to buy a gun? Nope, can't do that. We've actually had this happen. This is not conspiracy talk. This is literally already happening. In a digital world, losing access to your funds can happen with the click for whatever reason. Small towns, farmers markets, whatever it is, they're just not accepting cash anymore. They're trying to phase it out. Okay, so it's like, all right, we get it, Morgan. They're trying to take our freedoms, right? Or basically, they're just trying to restrict us on what we can and cannot do. It is literally all about control in this society and in the future. And I truly believe that, and we're seeing it every day. First of all, we need to diversify your storage. So you need to be keeping physical cash on hand, because even though they want us to go to a cashless society, I still believe that having cash on hand is imperative. There will still be people who may want to take cash. So have a little bit of cash. Small bills are best. Tangible assets like precious metals is definitely going to be making a comeback. And if you're poor like us, then you're going to want to try to get like some silver coins, things like that, silver eagles. That's a really good starting point. But not just precious metals, any physical, tangible asset, anything that can be bartered, food, fuel, any type of barter items that is a physical item that you can hold in your hand. Okay, potato, just come on. Consider your tangible offline skills. I just saw a video the other day of a guy who built his own tractor. Literally, like, compiled all the pieces and built literally everything from scratch. Instead of spending, $30,000 on buying a tractor, he built one that he'll now be able to fix himself, and he knows how to do it, and he'll be able to help others build their own. That's a tangible skill right there, right? Instead of buying everything, learn how to make stuff. Learn to make your own candles. Learn to make your own medicine. Learn to make your own soap. Learn to make your own clothes. Of course, you still have to get, some fabric and stuff and some wax and stuff like that. But a lot of times that stuff can be either repurposed or it can be found locally. And that's where building your local networks is going to be coming into play. Every single time I talk to people about community, they just roll their eyes because they don't think that it's an asset. Your community, your 10-mile or less radius is where you are going to be finding people that are growing food, or that have bees, or they have skills or whatever, or goods that you can trade with, or you can barter with, it that you can, it could be your community of people, right? Look at these, beautiful. I'm like not even halfway through the bag. Okay. Your skills can go a really long way. For instance, if you know how to fix generators or fix things, you can say, hey, let me fix that for you, and in exchange, I want some flour or eggs or whatever the case may be. And to get to know local people, you don't ever have to say you're a prepper. Just be like, hey, my name is this, and I like this, and let's be friends, right? Help out your neighbors in your community, and you'll be remembered, and you'll remember them when the time comes. It's time to decentralize your income. And this means that you should be having multiple sources of income. And it kind of sucks, like in this day and age, to be like, I can't just get by on one job anymore. But it's like, at this point in time, it's almost imperative that we have multiple income streams, just because it's the smart thing to do. Not because, you know, we need a ton of money to survive, but it's also because, you know, we want some different ways of making money that's not just relying on one source. Listen, the fact of the matter is the majority of us probably are not in the position, or maybe we never want to be completely off grid, you know? But diversifying your income, having multiple streams of income, you know, and if you want to take all your money and stuff out of the bank, be my guest, you know? Try to pay all of your bills in cash or whatever if you can. I'm not sure who does that anymore, but we can take these little steps, learning skills, getting to know your community, and looking out for those signs of a more centralized digital currency coming. And then you already have certain plans in place. So once you start seeing those signs, you can really amp up that preparedness, right? The fact of the matter is, if you are here watching this video, you have a digital footprint, as do most people. So, you know, we can try to protect ourselves the very best that we can. I'm not saying to go live like the Amish, but I'm also not saying not to think in that mindset, because you got to start growing your own food. You got to start providing for yourself a little bit more every single day, so that you can get to that point of where you're not so reliant on the system. Because preparedness is not just about stockpiling. That's a big part of it, and that's an easy part of it, but it's about staying human and in control a little bit. So many things are out of our control. The government, you know, what they say we can and cannot do. Medications are, you know, what is and is not in grocery stores. So many things are out of our control, but we can take back a little bit of control every single day. And you're going to feel better about yourself for doing so, I guarantee it. Continue to stockpile, but continue to also learn those skills, get to know your community and your neighborhood, get to know people, and, you know, just try to take back a little bit of control. If we build real world networks right now in our community with real people, real skills, real tangible assets, we don't have to go beg for what we need later. This video got you thinking? Don't just keep scrolling. Don't watch another prepper video or another video or whatever. Go take action. Go do something. One small step every single day makes a difference. And if you download my checklist, plus I have a ton of other downloads and stuff at my website available, then that's going to get you one step closer towards being prepared for whatever may come our way. Use that fear, use that uncertainty, and use this thought process and this time to take action. Head to my website at roguepreparedness.com or click the link down below for that checklist and check out my other downloads. And thank y'all so much for watching. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. I have a lot more potatoes to go, so I gotta go. Y'all are distracting me. Okay, conquer tomorrow by preparing today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.